can see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian, and today is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024, and this is episode 766 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled, I've Seen This One Before. I'll be chatting about dinosaur tales, mosquitos, mullein, and a little bit more. First, let's head on over into the live chat, see who's hanging out, grab a cup of coffee, and hang out for an hour. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Pip in. Good morning, humans, to you, Pip. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Good morning, Rewilder Life. Hey, it is Wednesday. I'm finally figuring out what day it is. Yesterday even I thought it was Wednesday night when we got to the evening. Corey and I were wondering what we were going to do for dinner, and I was trying to be funny, and I was like, well, maybe it's Taco Wednesday. And she's like, well, it's actually Tuesday, so Taco Tuesday should work fine. So we grabbed a little bit of Mexican for dinner last night. And so it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Good morning, Jamie, Off-Grid Ping. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for stopping in. And thank you for the little bit of relief I'm getting so far from the mullein you kindly gifted me. I appreciate that. Cough's getting better, guys. I swear we're 2 minutes in. I've already coughed, but I tell you, we had some mullein tea last night. Haven't quite dove into the tincture or smoking the mullein as of yet. Just want to ease into it, see the effects of the different ways to use it. And the tea, man, we had it with some bedtime tea yesterday evening, and it definitely has helped loosen up the chest and helped me expel plenty of stuff overnight and into the morning. But no NyQuil last night, so that was a good thing. Definitely on the mend. I don't know if I would consider myself 100% yet, but definitely better than before. So appreciate you, Jamie. Natural healing. The mullein, weird. I used something that grew in the earth, and all of a sudden I'm starting to feel better. Imagine that. Canadian Farmstead's driving this morning. Hunter over on Twitch. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate that. It's Wednesday, guys. It's Wednesday. I'm definitely gonna have to take some cough breaks this morning. I thought I was gonna be good. When I woke up. I was just like, holy crap. Having coughing fits and producing cough, which was a change, which was really nice. And I was like, oh, this will all be done by the time the show starts, about an hour. No. So we'll see how it goes. Sitting down and talking for an hour straight is a challenge to begin with, and then to add in a little bit of tickle in the back of the throat, and you're messed up. So we'll get there. Anyway, what are we gonna talk about today? I've been kind of collecting stories along the way. Free Wilder Life says, ye shall eat the herbs. You will eat the bugs, and you will like it, and you will smoke the herb, and you will like it. I'm interested. I'm actually interested in the smoking the mullein, as I was diving into dosing instructions yesterday. So Jamie was kind enough to gift me a jar of dried mullein, and then also a mullein tincture that he made up. And I wasn't really familiar with the dosing, and you don't know, first time trying something. And first of all, there was 3 different ways to consume it. Making a tea out of the dried, using the tincture, making tea out of the dried, using tincture, and and smoking it were the three ways that I saw. But I didn't know how much to make with the tea, and you don't really know. Sorry guys. Even when you have a dosing instruction, you don't know the actual strength of what you have. It depends on the plant that year. It depends on the harvest. It depends on how it's dried, how it's stored, how old it is, on and on and on. As I'm Rewilder Life says smoking can cause effects. That's not what I've heard. From my research yesterday, it says it's completely non psychotropic. There's no getting high off a mullein, and that because of that, it is legal almost everywhere to own, possess, and consume, smoking or otherwise. But as I dove in, it was interesting to read that a lot of cultures through the years have added dried mullein to a lot of their ceremonial smoking, their medicinal smoking, all their smoking blends, and even into as people were cigar smoking, or not cigar, pipe smoking got very popular. When people were making their own tobacco blends, adding mullein in was a tonic for the lungs. So it kind of lessened the harshness of some of the other substances they were smoking, whether it be tobacco or other things. Adding the mullein in adds a mild, earthy flavor to the smoke, but it also calms the lungs. It helps with the coughing. It relaxes the lungs and acts as a tonic. So they would just mix it in for relief, not necessarily because they were sick, just to ease the harshness of the tobacco smoke. So, hey Brandon, how's it going, man? Appreciate you this morning, bro. I'm just briefly stopping by, but wanted to wish you the very best, and I hope you have a great stream, man. Thanks, I appreciate that. I hope you have an awesome day. It's Wednesday. Power through it. Have the best day of your life, and then do it again tomorrow. Appreciate you. Good morning, K Bonk. Thanks for stopping in. Rewilder Life also mentions that we're all different, and we are all different, and we get affected differently by different things. So, haven't smoked it yet. I will try it. I still have some chest congestion for sure. After 12, 13 days of this shit, I'm sure I'll be coughing up crap for quite a while. But it interests me. It felt like the most benign way to consume the mullein was probably make some tea. From what I was reading, here comes a Norman earthquake, I believe. So as I dug in, I looked, and the tea seemed to be, I don't want to say the safest. Like, I had no concerns. I had no concerns whatsoever consuming it. I wanted to kind of gauge the effects. I don't want to say scientifically, but I wanted to see how I reacted to it, and it felt like that the tea would have been the easiest way to gauge that. Slowest in acting or reacting. Ruala Life says, do you have the root and the flower? The dried looks to be all flower, maybe some flower and leaf. It looks like a jar of weed, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Jamie was joking that he was going to leave it with the boxes that I had, the packages that I had sitting over at his place, and I was going to go over and pick some up. And he was hoping that the mailman didn't get confused when he saw the jar. And I rolled up and I walked up to the box, and I'm like, "Yep, I can see why. I can see why he would think that the mailman might get a little get a little confused, and I picked up the jar and I was like, "Yep, looks like a big jar of weed." Really, I mean, it is. Excuse me. I mean, it is. It's a big jar of weeds, dried weeds. So we decided to make some. We have canisters to make loose tea. Wasn't really sure what the taste was going to be like. So Corey and I decided to make some with our bedtime tea that we drink quite often in the evening to kind of relax before bed. Made some up. It was good. It was good. It didn't. Corey didn't necessarily see a big difference in the taste. I could kind of catch a little bit of a mild earthy flavor added into the bedtime tea. Nothing overbearing by any means. I can't remember what the rest of the ingredients in the bedtime tea is. It's a blend, but it felt like it worked well. I didn't notice anything right off the bat, but as I sat, it was probably like an hour. It was probably like an hour before bed that I finished it, and by the time I was laying down, I felt like my lungs were loosening up. I felt like, I think between the effects. Good morning, Jim. Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. I think besides the effects of the bedtime tea, and thanks for the zap over on Noster. Appreciate that. Besides the effects of the bedtime tea, the mullein felt like it started to loosen up the lungs. And as I was laying there, I decided not to take any NyQuil to see what happened. And man, if I was up all night or anything, I would have dosed myself in the middle of the night. But it didn't really. It calmed me. It calmed my lungs down enough that I slept fine. I woke up a couple times in the evening or overnight, and definitely had some producing cough. And I think it really just started to loosen things up. So K-Bong says Bitcoin's on sale. Stack them. Yeah, I saw the price was dropping yesterday on a little bit of a roller coaster, bouncing up and down around 56K. Is that still where we're at, K-Bong, or are we dropping again this morning? Haven't had any alerts pop up, but let's check in right here. 56.5 on sale. On sale for sure. For sure. If you haven't blown your Bitcoin load yet, definitely pick some up on sale. So, the mullein. Good to have friends. Good to have friends. I appreciate Jamie throwing that out there for me, and I think I will probably either hit the tincture up, or I don't know. Maybe we'll mess around with smoking a little bit of this stuff and seeing what it does. Rachel says she says it's weird because she's read a few places it can cause some effects, but she doesn't smoke things. I don't know. My limited research yesterday. Obviously, I have a way less time into researching herbs and natural medicinals than you do. Just came up with a lot of benign, no psychotropics, and the only effects were the physical benefits to the lungs, and no negative side effects or you don't get high. You don't get high. There we go, a little bit. Anyway, and she says it's super easy to find the whole plant. Yeah, when the plant's 6 foot tall and bright yellow, it's easy. It's pretty easy to find, pretty easy to spot. We overseeded a bunch of mullein seed in different spots at Delinquent's Gully, but I believe the mullein is a 2-year cycle. Could be wrong, but from what I recall, it's a 2-year cycle plant, and it only sends up the big stalk in the second year. I could be wrong though. I thought it was second year, and then that's the cycle, and then it drops a bazillion seeds, and it's like every other year. So in that case, hopefully you have it seeded properly on the property, and it will come back every year in different locations. Mike's Homestead says that's correct. Okay. I was pretty sure, just like acorns. I was never aware that acorns were an every other year producer. I found it out one year, and then I started observing, and I was like, "Oh, weird! It is." I believe that. Rewilder Life confirms biannual, and Jamie says yes, mullein is biannual. Yeah, there it is. We'll get there, guys. We'll get there. I am guessing by the end of the week I should be back to 100%. That will be a relief for me, for sure. But nice to not have taken any pharmaceuticals last night to sleep. That was a relief. I was getting a little worried that I was going to have to continue to dose myself with NyQuil to fall asleep after being dependent on it. Canadian Farmstead says mullein is LGBT. We're LGBT friendly here at the Lots Project podcast. We don't discriminate on biannual plants. Anyway, that's the mullein. Appreciate you, Jamie, for sure. And I think we're gonna make it out this weekend. It's been a couple weeks now, and we got to get out to the gully. It's supposed to be nice weather, and I think Corey and I will be feeling better and up to the trip to get some work done. So excited for that. Excited to get back out there. I made a trip out yesterday, like I said, to grab the mullein, grab a bunch of boxes. I have a stack of products I have to go back out today and record a bunch of videos. After being down for 2 weeks, they just keep piling up, and I gotta get some stuff recorded. I've started to have some companies reach out and say, hey, are you gonna record the videos, or are you just gonna take the products and run away? Like your $10 product. Hunter says, as long as it's over by SRF, I don't need to come back with any extra crud. God, if it's not done in a month from now, if I still have this at SRF, I'll be putting myself in quarantine somewhere with this rarest disease. That would be like 7-8 weeks. Excuse me, guys. That'll be 7 or 8 weeks of it, and I would not attend SRF if I was feeling like this. I would skip it for sure. So Jim's having some Food Forest Farms Clyde in the cup there. I got FTO Blonde Espresso this morning, and it's helping me. It's definitely helping me through the day. The Food Forest Farms yesterday helped me for sure, and today again it is helping clear the little bit of brain fog that's left. That was a nice change yesterday. The brain fog kind of was here and gone way quicker. Like way more of my day I was able to think clearly and actually come up with some coherent thoughts and get some things done. So that was nice. The Food Forest Farms coffee in the morning definitely helps clear it up, regardless of if it stays all day. Sosa Savage, good morning. You're over in the vertical feed. Appreciate you stopping. FTO Blonde Espresso is one blend you can find at Food Forest Farms. Jim names another Clyde blend. I came up with that along with Walter and Norman blends and several other blends related to the Lots Project. You can find those there. You can find several other white label brands that Brian is willing to provide through the C4 Club membership. C4 Club is a monthly coffee club that you can sign up for at foodforestfarms.com. Minimum 2 pounds of coffee a month, $20 per pound, $40 a month. It is absolutely the best $20 a pound coffee you're going to find anywhere. Brian sends it in a full pound. Other companies now, if you look at their serving size, their packaging size on their listings, the price might be a touch lower, but man, so is the weight. Check it out before you buy. 10 ounces is not a pound. And when it's $18 for 10 ounces, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I don't really balk at the price, because once you taste the coffee, you'll understand why it is so valuable. Check out Food Forest Farms coffee today. Use discount code LOTS10, LOTS10 is a one-time discount code to get you 10% off, and always free shipping at foodforestfarms.com. Wait. K-Bong says Food Forest Farms Honduran for him this morning. Nice for sure. Pip says, boy, is my fave red. Oh, boy, is my face red. He's been assuming we've been talking about smoked fish. Wait. Pip's driving around on the forklift getting hungry. You thought we were talking about smoked fish, like smoking fish and dried fish and fish tincture? Pip, you need some fish tacos. Too much mullein flour for you this morning, for sure. So anyway, on the list here, I have a bunch of things that have kind of been stacking up that I've seen. Jamie says fish tincture, yeah. The laughing is making the coughing come back, so this is not good. I've had some stories just kind of stacking up here as I've been sick. I've been perusing the internet quite a bit. I've been hitting this huge news bar that's on my screens now, from this new computer. And I've been trying to figure out how to get it to go away, and I haven't, but I'm kind of getting used to it. And some of the shit that pops up on it is definitely show worthy. So I might leave it and randomly come up with show topics there. But I had a few come up, and then thrown in from just being sick on my phone and reading things and finding them interesting or wanting to talk about them more. Pip says he's putting away the fishing rod. It's okay, Pip. Maybe I can get Jamie to make you some fish tincture for SRF. Pip's special fish tincture. But the first thing on the list here is a story that I saw, and the first thing I thought was, this is not good. This one was from the from MSN. So that would be whatever MSN mainstream news. It was on the big menu bar that popped up, and Jim's got to run. He'll be listening. Have a great day. Hey man, thanks for stopping. I appreciate it. And again, thanks for the zap over there on Noster. Have a great day. So the way this menu bar pops up, I wish you. I mean, if you could see a picture of it, you'd think it was. It's like half the screen, and it's only when you roll over the menu bar part, it just pops up automatically. But I saw a picture of some amber, and I don't know if you don't know what amber is. It's like a crystalline rock formation from the dinosaur era. If you remember back a movie from I believe it was in the 90s, they found some amber, and that was the start of a whole island full of something. I saw a picture of it, and I saw the headline that says plant preserved in amber turns out to be a 99 million year old dinosaur tail. Tail is in TAIL, not TALE. It wasn't a story about the dinosaur. It was actually a dinosaur tail. And I got interested. I was like, okay. I've heard this before. It wasn't a tail. I'm pretty sure they found a mosquito in Jurassic Park, and that's how we ended up with what went on there in that movie. But I was like, okay, so what's the deal here? We found a new dinosaur, and how big is this piece of amber that they're finding a dinosaur tail in it? It got me really interested. I was like, all right, I'm excited to read this article. So I click on it. It pops up, and it's got 14 photos. It's got a picture of some amber with something in it. And I went to read the article, and I'm going to share with you guys what it said. It says I can't share it on the screen. I haven't figured out how to share this pane quite yet. But it says scientists recently made a fascinating discovery involving amber, a substance known for preserving ancient organisms. Initially, what seemed to be a beautifully preserved plant trapped in amber turned out to be something much more significant. It was, in fact, the tail of a dinosaur. Let's dive in. And that was it. I searched and searched and searched. I clicked through all the pictures, wondering if there was more explanation on the pictures. I scrolled down through all the ads and looked for links. There's several other news stories below it that have nothing to do with dinosaurs. I was excited to dive in. And then nothing. I felt cheated. I felt scammed. I want to know about the dinosaur tail. I was really genuinely curious to learn more about what dinosaur it was, what they plan on doing with this, how like anything more about this story would have added to the information that I could have brought you guys. But literally all they said was, we thought it was plant, and now we think it's a dinosaur tail. Nothing else. How, like, do people actually get paid to put this story up? Did they forget the rest of the article? Did I click a dead link for something? Oh, right here. Okay. So, story by Arwen Kent, Bachelor of Science. That's the tagline or headline. Or this is bad. But anyway, guys, they found a dinosaur tail. So we will soon expect to have a real life Jurassic Park. I think they found dinosaur parts in amber before, and they can extract the DNA, and we're not in danger. But as soon as I saw the picture of amber, that's the first thing that I thought of. Rewildler Life says people wear amber for health benefits. I could see that. With dinosaur tails in it. I wonder how expensive a piece of amber with dinosaur DNA in it is. Yeah, so that kind of Hunter says, I feel like this headline is old. It says 4 days ago, man. 4 days. Is that old in your world? Unless they picked up an old headline, it says 4 days. It says 4 days. I mean, the in-depth diving, they Hunter says like no, like 2010 or something. Maybe that was a different dinosaur tale. Excuse me. Yeah, man. That mullein is really really loosening the stuff up for sure. Rewilder Life says there was one 2 years ago I found. Was that the same? Was that they thought it was a plant and it turned out to be a tail? Is this guy Arwen Kent? Is Arwen Kent scamming other people's discoveries and just rewriting articles about it? And the reason they didn't go in depth was because that's just bullshit. Do they not have enough news stories to fill their enormous headline thing that pops up, and they have to they're recycling 2-year-old stories? Huh. I'm definitely gonna have to get this thing off of here. Hopefully none of the other articles that I found. Rewilder Life says productive cough. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited for the cough to be producing, and the way my lungs feel this morning, I definitely have to believe that the mullein had something to do with it. Rewilder Life says said it was a tail. Yeah, it says they thought it was a plant. It turned out that it was a tail. Jim says it's BBC article. Jim, I thought you had to leave. Ha. Gotcha. You just wanted to pretend like you weren't listening, and you're still listening. All right. Well, anyway. Dinosaur Tales and Amber. Jim's at a red light. Oh, that is not safe, Jim. You should definitely not be searching the BBC. You should definitely not be searching for BBC at a red light. You should go park in a parking lot in a seedy neighborhood. Hunter says he's sure there's more than one dinosaur. I don't know, man. There's probably only one dinosaur tail. Canadian Farmstead says, get paid to rent articles, use AI to take old articles and slightly change living posts before you profit. Yeah. And Hunter's assuming that there was more than one piece of amber also. And I don't know. Jim didn't catch the BBC reference. I didn't know you swung that way, but to each his own. Canadian Farmstead says get paid to rent articles. It's an interesting thing. One of the things further down on my list, it wasn't on there for today, but I would have got to it eventually, so I'll talk about it. My friend Uncle B up in South Dakota, that hip camp that we Canadian Farmstead says either he mumbles or his text-to-speech sucks. It might be a little bit of both, and it's probably the Canadian accent. Do you have Canadian turned on your speech-to-text? Uncle B, my friend up in South Dakota, runs a hip camp, is a very successful hip camp up there. He's been in the top couple in the country and also in South Dakota for several years in a row. Really enjoyed our stay there, and also followed his social media and everything. So that's kind of where this story comes from. I saw yesterday, now it's probably like 2-3 days ago now. Uncle B posted on Facebook, and he says his post was like, I don't know who wrote this fantastic review, but I came upon, somebody sent me, or he came upon a listing for his campground on a site that he didn't submit. He found it. It was a really nice write-up, a listing. And he's like, and I just wanted to share this this site with you guys. A, because I'm listed here. B, because somebody submitted it and put a fantastic write-up about me. And C, there's other campgrounds on there. And Uncle B is a really cool dude, and he's one of the rising tide guys, you know. Rising tide raises all ships. Uncle B feels that sending people to find other campsites, even beyond his own, would be a good idea. He's just a good person like that. And so he was just putting it out there and wondering if anybody would fess up to listing his campground on the site. He's like, I never heard of it. But it looks like there's a ton of campgrounds listed, and man, you did a really nice job describing my place. He says you forgot about the popcorn and the s'mores, but hey, I got a 5-star review and this and the other thing. And so I'm like, all right, when I click on the site, I go and read the write-up that was there, and it was a really nice write-up and accurate, and it felt like the person had definitely been there before, from what I could tell and from what I had observed on my stay. And so it was a day later, maybe later that afternoon. I got a notification that he replied to his own post, and turns out no one posted the review. No one posted the listing on the site. The site is completely generated by ChatGPT. So somebody told ChatGPT to go and scalp all these reviews of hip camps and on these other camping sites, and put together a site of campground listings. So it took all the reviews on all these different sites, aggregated them together, reworded them, put the sentiment, figured out the sentiment if people liked it, the key points, things like that, wrote reviews and a write-up for each of the campgrounds, and posted it all listed by state and area to be searchable. So literally, like a clearinghouse for campgrounds was created out of thin air using reviews from the internet of other sites, excuse me. Pretty fascinating. It made me wonder what the other possibilities are. And Canadian Farmstead kind of touched on it there with paying or getting paid to take articles and run them through AI filters and post them back up, and then I guess run the ads. Suppose you could run the ads on your site. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little side income from somebody or for somebody. But it's weird that you said that, and I had just experienced something very similar. So he was excited. He was all thankful. He was ready to thank somebody for going out of their way to putting up a new listing for him. And yeah, not so much. It was just the internet doing internet things. So the next thing on my list, actually below the dinosaur story, which got me worried about Jurassic Park, has been a story I've been watching coming out of New England. I've been keeping an eye on it because of my friends up there in the Northeast, up in the New Hampshire area. Backwoods Butcher, who's going to be traveling down here soon. Several other community members from up in that area. Have you guys been seeing anything about the EEE virus, the Eastern equine? What is it? Eastern equine encephalitis. Excuse me. Eastern equine encephalitis is a pretty nasty but very rare disease, a mosquito-borne illness that so basically you get bitten by a infected mosquito. It's very similar to West Nile. You've probably heard of West Nile. We went through quite a stint of West Nile at one point, or a couple different points in the recent past, in the last 20 years. Rewilder Life says, yeah, they act like it's a new thing. Yeah, it's not. It's been around a long time, but what is new is somebody died of it. Actually, 2 people have died of it recently, which is new. It had been quite a while since a confirmed case in a human had popped up, and it had been quite a while longer since someone had actually died of it. Now 2 people in the last month have contracted it. Now, I'm not saying that this is hair on fire emergency. I don't think that that we need to sound the alarm bell, but man, they really are. They really are. Watching what towns are doing, watching the response of the government, has been interesting. Towns are putting in curfews. Towns are putting in dusk to dawn curfews. Schools are changing sporting events. We can't have sporting events after dark. We're going to be playing afternoon games for our high school sporting events, because we can't have people out at dark when the mosquitoes are out. It's kind of similar to it makes me feel like the whole COVID lockdown curfews. We can't go out at night because that's when the COVIDs come out. The rules that absolutely make no sense. We could go on and on and on and on and on about that, like with oh, you need to wear a face diaper while you walk to your table, but you can take it off, but you can only take it off while you're chewing, and then you got to put it back on, or only while you're walking through the restaurant, because we cannot transmit things while we're sitting down. I guess mosquitoes are only alive at night. John Palmer says, like, mosquitoes don't come out during the day. Good morning, John. Thanks for popping in. Exactly. But towns are mass spraying. Towns are mass spraying. It was immediate response. We'll see what comes of it. Canadian Farmstead says, glad I've never been bit by a mosquito during the day. Yeah, I mean, those daytime mosquitoes, those are the real bad ones. Those, you got to really watch out for them. Rewilder says, our population's so sick, we are sick from just about everything and anything, but eat your Wheaties. Right. So EEE, I can't say that encephalitis isn't nasty. I have personal experience with it. I didn't necessarily have it. My son had it when he was a baby. It is not good. Encephalitis can do some pretty bad shit to you. The percentage chance that you're going to contract it, and it will affect you, and the percentage chance that you're going to contract it, it's going to affect you, and it's going to be as severe as it needs to be to cause damage are unlikely. It's very unlikely. But man, anything to ramp up the fear. Anything to ramp up the fear. Maybe we need to sell more plastic. We need to seal our houses. What was that? What was that scare where we needed to seal our houses with the plastic? Everybody went and bought the plastic with the duct tape, and we were getting ready to seal all our houses up. If it must have been in the early 2000s. I remember there was a big push to go get the plastic. Ebola, maybe that's what it was. Canadian farms to radiation. We were gonna have a nuclear fallout or something. I remember there was a big push, and everybody was flocking to the Home Depot and Lowe's to pick up plastic and duct tape. Because we were all going to seal our windows, and that was going to make it so the radiation couldn't get in. I believe is correct. Canadian Farmstead says swine flu, equine flu, avian flu, monkeypox. I think I'm going to have to start seeing a and now you're going to get the eastern equine encephalitis. John Palmer says, I think our houses are being sealed by microplastic. I didn't have the COVIDs, guys. I think I had a lung influxation of microplastics. The wind blew the wrong direction, and I ended up inhaling microplastics from the Tennessee River. Hunter says, and the frogs are gay. The frogs are gay! They're turning the frogs gay! Oh no, gay frogs. What would we do if all the frogs turned gay? How would they have baby frogs? Or do they just identify? Hunter says, did you hear about the plastic in sperm? I don't. I want to say that I heard about plastics in places they shouldn't be. I didn't necessarily hear about them in sperm, but it doesn't surprise me. Hunter said, I don't know. Is jism an acceptable word? Is that on the 7 words you can't say on the internet? Jism? Is that a colloquialism? Is that a scientific term? Ejaculate? I have a producing cough. Hopefully it's not ejaculate. Oh no. Hunter's claiming that every sample of jism has microplastics. Canadian Farmstead says his testicles feel like stress balls. Because they're full of microplastics, or they feel like sand. The sand. What? This is taking a wrong turn. Hunter, I'm curious. How many samples did you give? Where did you deposit your samples? Who is providing the plastic jizz samples? Is it like Ken doll? And what is the detriment? I mean, like, I I'm not claiming that having plastic in your semen is a good thing. But what is it doing? What is it causing? And is it in the actual sperm itself, or is it in the carrier fluid? I'm trying to flash back to high school health class, to that week where we talked about all that shit. And I want to say that the sperm was not the bulk of the seminal fluid. I don't know. It's been a while. Haven't. We need Kyle here. I think he is a semen expert. How did we end up talking about? Jim's talking about FUD story. Jim over on Noster saying this is a FUD story. Are you talking about the semen story, Jim? Is there no semen in the no microplastics in the semen? Do you know from firsthand experience? Do you have a source? Hunter. Okay. Anyway, watch out for Eastern equine encephalitis. So, Kyle, we're gonna have to detox Kyle when he comes down to SRF. When he travels down here, we're gonna have to fog his vehicle and all his belongings to make sure he didn't bring any sleeping mosquitoes with him. Canadian Farmstead said there's so many microplastics, the swimmers are building a raft. Oh man. We're gonna have to make sure Kyle has no straggler mosquitoes with the EEE virus with him. Watch out. Be aware. It sounds like if you get this stuff, you're just fucked. It doesn't sound like a whole lot can be done from what I see, which sucks. I'm looking over here in this article. It says, what is EEE? See symptoms, map of cases after deaths reported in New Hampshire. The map is going to be pretty sparse because from what I saw, there was like 2 people. It was one dude and then a chick got it also. And so that map's going to be pretty sparse. Moving on to another story I had came up yesterday as I was looking at super spreader event. Yeah, we're going to be spreading all sorts of stuff all over the place. Rewilder Life was wondering if the mosquito came from the amber, and that's really what I was wondering. Did the mosquito bite the dinosaur tail and withdraw the blood from the dinosaur tail and the amber to reintroduce EEE to the world, or some new virus, or some new whatever killed the dinosaurs? What if the dinosaur tail in the amber was the last dinosaur there was, and it died because of whatever extincted the dinosaurs, and now we're going to unleash that and kill all the dinosaurs again? It's not going to be good. Not going to be good. Yesterday I was checking out my niece and nephew's school pictures. First day of school. My niece and nephew did not have their first day of school yesterday. We had to roll back. It was while we were sick. But first day of school, and popped up an article from Minnesota. it was about the big changes in Minnesota for the school year, and I was curious. They said they were going to be focusing on they're going to be focusing on cell phones in school and attendance. This is the big focus for the school year coming up in Minnesota. And I was like, all right, I bite. Let me see. Let me read the article. So I pulled it up. There was two things that kind of hit me in the face when I was reading this article. First was the attendance thing. We'll talk about that. Wasn't the first. The attendance thing was the second thing, but that's it's the first thing I talk about here. Minnesota schools, as the state of Minnesota, is focusing on attendance this year, getting kids to actually come to school, and I kind of chuckled at their goal. They want to fight chronic absenteeism, and chronic absenteeism. I'm thinking, what constitutes chronic absenteeism in a school as a student? You got to figure you go to school 5 days a week for what is it, 9 months out of the year. You have vacations. As school progressed, like as I was watching the schools, the conference days, the days off, the half days, all of this was more and more and more. It felt like the kids were out of school. School was not in session more than it was in session. Hunter says 10 days. Chronic absenteeism in Minnesota is represented at 10% absenteeism. So that's a day every other week. 10 days in 20 weeks. Yeah, I think so it'd be way more than 10 days. They're trying to get these kids under 10% absenteeism on top of all the time they're actually not in school, like that don't count as absenteeism. 10%. Like you only have to show up 90% of the time. We're good. How much time are kids missing where our goal is to reach only 10%? To get it under 10%. We want the kids to show up 9 out of 10 days. Like, I feel like that is that's not a very big goal to set. But I also don't know. Are there kids? I mean, I guess I went to school in a different time. Reality Life says homeschool problem solved. Yeah, you got to show up every day because you just wake up at school. I guess I went to school in a different time. We didn't have kids that missed. We didn't have kids that missed that much school. Is this for those of you people with for those of you people that got kids in public school? Do kids miss that much school? Do they miss a lot more than 10% of the classes or 10% of the days? Wilder says maybe they should stop feeding them Pop-Tarts and pizza and they'd be healthier. Man, I don't know. Like, I mean, yes. I agree. But we talk every once in a while. I've had many conversations about what we used to eat in school. Like, I just said that we didn't have kids that missed that much school. And I'm also saying that the shit that they put in us for food was not great. Wilder Life says, I missed a month of school each year due to your health. You were you weren't the norm though. I wouldn't say, knowing your health history, I wouldn't call you like the average child. Maybe you sorry, I don't mean to say you're weird or anything, but I believe that you might have been on the far end of that health scale. I think there just might be a shift of parents don't fucking know if their kids are going to school or care. Or we've gotten to the point in the rotation where the parents didn't go, their parents didn't care, and now their kids, they could care even less. They could care even less if they're there or not. I don't know. Does it really matter? I think it was Hunter up there that said they don't get paid. Yeah, they don't get paid for the kids if they don't show up. Yes. Ruala Life says that food was not the same. It was not made with the chemicals they used to actually make the food. Yeah, I guess when they put it still wasn't good. And it still wasn't it was still based on it was based on shitty science. So whatever. But anyway, that was one thing they're trying to focus on, getting things under chronic absenteeism being 10%. So we're striving to get to 90%, get them to show up 90% of the time. Another thing that they're pushing, and I've seen articles about these things. It's not new. This company's been around since 2014, but it's kind of exploding at this year. It started really catching on more, not necessarily in schools, but at events and things like that. But these cell phone free zones, using these bags, the anti-cell phone bags. I think the company that they specifically called out in this article was Yonder bags. You might have seen them if you've gone to a concert or a comedy show, things like that. Basically, what it is a kind of a velvety bag. You put your phone in, you swipe it on this little stand, and it magnetically locks the phone. It's made out of a material where you can't get a cell signal in or out. You go into the event when you want to use your phone. You go outside the event and you swipe your phone, and it unlocks the bag. You get your phone out. You can use it. Great idea, I guess. I think it's fantastic for concerts or whatever. If the artist doesn't want cell phones, perfect. Lectures, things like that. And schools, like kids. Corey and I had a conversation after this, and she said, if I was sending a kid to public school at this point, I would want them to have a cell phone in their pocket. And I agree, if the kid was responsible with the phone. It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword for sure. I do see fallout the first time there is an active shooter and no one can call for help. I also see a scam. The scam alert went into high gear as soon as I saw it, and I was reading about this article. I went to their website and I was looking, and I was like, I'm curious. I would like to see one of these things. I'm curious how much they cost. I'm looking through their website. You can't buy them. You can't buy the bags. You can buy an at-home box that you can buy for your house that ships in 3 to 4 weeks that costs $300 for this little box that you put on your nightstand, and you can lock your phone in it, or you put it in your kid's room when it's time to do their homework. You lock their phone up. $300 for that. But the interesting part was you can't buy the bags. So the bags seem to be like bulk order only. You can request a demonstration. They have forms to fill out, whether it's a school or a concert venue or whatever group wants to use this, and they'll come out and they'll demo it for you. But it looks as though this company has found a cash cow in the public school system. Weird. They sell in bulk to school budgets. And they sell it under the fact that, oh, we're going to have a cell phone free environment. This is like taking someone else's money that someone else took and stealing that. The person that's actually paying for these has no choice in the matter whatsoever. I guess if they elect the right school board members, they're good. But what a cash cow. This dude came up with a concept that he can sell to school boards that they just vote on, and oh, this is a great idea. We're not gonna have cell phones in the classrooms. I was diving a little deeper into some of the things, and it's interesting the mixed reactions from both the educators and the students. Obviously, Ruwali Life says grants. Where does the money come from? It's all public funds. And the majority of them that I see are coming from in-school budgets. They're voting them into school budgets. There was a mix between the educators. Obviously, and this is where I think the line was drawn. The good educator, the teacher that's in the classroom paying attention, the teacher that is utilizing this tool to their advantage and not as a babysitter, basically, are saying these are great. These are great. The kids don't even miss their phones because the teacher's interacting with them. The teacher is stimulating them, is giving them a reason not to think about their phone in the bag. There were also teachers that said that the bags are more of a distraction than the phones, because the kids are complaining about them. They're trying to get them open. They're fucking around with them. They're not leaving them alone. And they're destroying them, basically, just costing the school money. They're not bulletproof. There's Reddit threads that tell you how to get these open with your bare hands, how to use the corner of the desk to pry it open, how to cut open the bag. This doesn't happen if the teacher's paying attention. Hunter says addiction is real. I mean, addiction's real, or a challenge. There's students that say both ways. There's students that are up in arms over the fact that their phone's being locked away. And for some of the reasons that they were giving were legit. They're like, hey, our school needs new computers, but they're spending tens of thousands of dollars on cell phone bags that kids are just destroying. Then they're also saying this is not fair. This is not fair. I can't have my phone. I can't have my phone in class. So there is that. But there are kids that are saying, hey, this is a really a misallocation of funds when you're telling me that my club that's going to benefit the school can't have funding, but we're dumping all this money into these cell phone bags. K-Bong says flip phone only in schools. I mean, Island Life says in 4 to 6 hours you can homeschool your kid and they're going to go learn, and they can go learn a skill with the rest of the 3 to 4 hours or more. Yeah, it's amazing to me how much kids don't get done in school. How is a third grader, a fourth grader, a second grader, even in high school, why are these kids in school for 8 hours? Why are they in school for 8 to 9 hours and coming home and needing to do hours and hours and hours of homework? Why? What are they doing? What is the point of them being there? I haven't figured that out in a long time. So we're talking 20 years since I was dealing with that, at least. So I don't know. The indoctrination is real. Ruado Life says that's high school and elementary you can do in 2 or 3 hours. For sure. Pip says, how much were the high school football stadium lights that caused seizures? I saw another warning about that before the last football game that they had at that stadium. Yeah, the seizure lights. Canadian Farm says babysitting, parents' schedules. Yeah, I mean it's real. It is for sure. Yeah. Anyway, guys. K-Bong says he's back. Great show. I am definitely feeling a lot better. That is a relief. It was definitely a long, drawn out thing that was wearing on me. It was getting the better of me for sure. I appreciate you guys hanging out and making it through. So I'm gonna wrap it up for today. We'll get back tomorrow. Like I said, I got a bunch of videos to make today. It'll be a long day, and by the end of it, I don't know. Hopefully I don't push it too hard. Getting there, guys. And I really hope that none of you have to go through this round of the AIDS. Stay healthy for sure. So hope you all have an awesome day and you get a bunch of shit done today. It's hump day. You get over the hump. Actually, it's Labor Day for us down here, so it's a 4-day week. This is the halfway point at the end of today. Have an awesome day, guys, and we'll catch up with you again in the morning.